Welcome to the Invite Health podcast, where our degreed healthcare professionals are excited to offer you the most important health and wellness information you need to make informed choices about your health. You can learn more about the products discussed in each of these episodes and all that Invite Health has to offer at www.invitehealth.com/podcast. First-time customers can use promo code podcast at checkout for an additional 15% off your first purchase. Let's get started.
For a very long time, there was never a link between diet and skin health. Over the past decade, there has been much research done in this particular area, looking at how certain foods can actually give a layer of protection to the skin itself. So when we think about things like exposure to UV radiation coming from the sun, and seeing how powerful proanthocyanidins coming from fruits, for example, the deep, dark, pigmented fruits, how beneficial that can actually be to offset the negative effect and the damage created by the sun to the skin. So today I want to talk about how much more we know now about adherence to a Mediterranean diet and why this can be beneficial for the health of your overall skin. So I am Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, and let's get right to it. For decades, they used to think that there was really no relationship between dietary intake of certain foods and the overall health of our skin. But we now recognize that dietary impact plays an integral role. I mean, we can look at omega-3 fatty acids, understanding how those help to hydrate the skin from the inside out. We can look at vitamin E. We certainly see the impact that vitamin E has, vitamin C as well. And looking at this connection between diet and overall skin health has really started to demonstrate that when people adhere to a Mediterranean diet, they really start to reap those benefits. So we already know that the Mediterranean diet has been shown to be beneficial for our brain health as we age, for our cardiovascular health, certainly when it comes to maintaining healthy cholesterol, healthy blood glucose levels. But looking at its overall impact when it comes to the health of our aging skin. So in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition back in 2019, they were looking at Mediterranean diet and skin cancer risk. So this was a study that was designed to see if there was really something to this. Would a Mediterranean diet actually be associated with a lower risk of the development of skin cancer? And with this particular study, what they did was they were looking at close to 100,000 women in France, and they were analyzing their dietary intake, and they found that the adherence to the Mediterranean diet, so high intake of things like fruits and vegetables and high omega-3 fatty acids, how much of a benefit that was actually providing to them. And they found that the adherence to the Mediterranean diet was associated with a lower risk of skin cancer. And this is all types of skin cancer. So we're looking at squamous cell, basal cell, as well as, of course, melanoma. So we know this, but where is this actually coming from? Well, we can look at studies where they're looking at the impact of those oils and the different juices that the fruits themselves are actually providing. So we're looking at grapes and those anthocyanidins, looking at aloe, for example, and we understand that the UV blocking capability of these natural, powerful antioxidants that are derived from fruits and vegetables, as well as from those natural oils, really leads to a heightened level of the skin to be able to combat the negative effects of UV radiation. So there was another study that they did back in 2019 where they said, let's put some of these powerful anthocyanins into lipstick, and let's just see if this would have any type of impact on the health of the skin of the lips. Now, interestingly enough, they found this to be incredibly relevant because once they added those powerful anthocyanins coming from the fruits and the vegetables. Remember, these are naturally derived. They found that those anthocyanins were biologically active and helping to fend off that UV damaging effect. So the reason why they put it on lipstick is because oftentimes our lips are common areas that we overlook when we think about the damaging effects of UV radiation. So that was an interesting study, the way that they designed it, the amount of the anthocyanins that they applied into the lipstick, and of course seeing the true benefit at the end of that study. So there certainly is this strong link between nutrition and skin aging. And oftentimes we look at skin as one of the most common places that we recognize the aging effect. Of course, graying of the hair, things like that. But fine lines and wrinkles are a really pronounced way to detect noticeable signs of aging. So if we can start to tie together the impact that diet has on the aging of the skin, then we can start to be more proactive in our approach to the overall health of the skin. So there was a study that was published in the Dermatology Endocrinology Journal looking at this link between nutrition and skin aging, and understanding that the skin's true health is coming from the inside out, and that direct connection between nutritional intake of healthy fatty acids, that omega-3 fatty acids, for example, having the powerful antioxidants and the vitamins and minerals. Just think about all of the different nutrients that are required to maintain the health of our skin. So all of these external factors to which our skin can be exposed to, so the environmental pollutants, I've talked about the study over in England where they were actually able to detect more significant rapid aging of the skin because of air pollutants. So people who lived closer to the city center, actually their skin was aging faster. Well, here's an interesting component to that, is they didn't look at anything dietary related, but we also recognize that people who live in more robust, high energy city areas usually are not as likely to be taking in the healthiest of foods because they have more of that active lifestyle, they're on the go. So these are all things that they have been able to look at. So looking at the extrinsic skin aging effects and looking at the harmful effects of free radicals and UV radiation, we now understand so much more about the antioxidants, looking at the carotenoids, the tocopherols, the tocotrienols coming from natural vitamin E, all of those powerful flavonoids, as well as the vitamins that we are yielded from those fruits and vegetables, things like vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, the omega-3 fatty acids, how all of these play a really integral role in terms of being able to deactivate that assault on the skin itself and allow for that youthfulness to continue through in our skin as we get older. But we have to be aware of this. We have to understand that, maybe eating fast food isn't going to help with the glowing of my skin. This is why oftentimes we talk about our reds HX and the greens HX formulations. When people are using these on a continual, regular basis, they really start to see the difference in terms of the youthfulness and the glow within their skin. And maybe they're taking it just because they feel like, maybe I don't get enough fruits and vegetables in my diet every day, so let me use a scoop of reds and a scoop of the greens HX. But it's the added surprise benefit that they get from that when they say, wow, my skin really seems much healthier. And think about why that is. Because now having that higher amount of those proanthocyanidins and those vitamins and minerals, all those powerful antioxidants to help to fend off the daily assault coming from environmental pollutants, at the same time coming from the harmful rays of the sun. So it's really quite interesting to see the research finding that adherence to the Mediterranean diet not only is associated with this significant lowered risk for the development of skin cancer. So that in and of itself is great, but also seeing the way that that Mediterranean diet actually slows the aging process within the skin itself. So definitely make sure you make those dietary changes. I always say it's never too late to change your diet, even if you're in your 70s or your 80s. It's still going to be a very beneficial thing to adhere to that Mediterranean diet and to make sure that you're also enhancing that by incorporating in powerful antioxidants that you find in products such as the Reds HX and the Greens HX. So that is all that I have for you for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Invite Health podcast. Remember, you can listen to all of our podcasts for free wherever you listen to podcasts, or by visiting invitehealth.com, and make sure that you subscribe, that you leave us a review. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Invite Health, and we will see you next time for another episode of the Invite Health podcast.